you currently doing? So I see Ayurveda expert, breath worker. Okay, so I'll just tell you the kind of people that we have around here right now are some acro yoga, Vatsu, life coaches, dog communicators, wow, cosmetologists, manifestation coaches, language trainers. All right, okay, here's the thing. Plant medicine practitioner, beautiful. We got tons of things to cover today, and I will be fast because we have limited time and I wanted to cover a lot of things, like I promised. So I want you to make a promise that you will make this count. You've taken out this precious time today, right? And in just a second, I'm going to ask you to put on your camera only for 30 seconds. So just giving you about a little bit of time to be prepared. I'm going to ask you to put on a camera. We're just going to do a very small activity. I want everybody to, let me just stand up and pat on yourself, pat on your back, because you have chosen the path less traveled, not only being an entrepreneur, but also being a healer, being a coach. You have given up all the comfort and embraced that discomfort, the uncomfortable, to change the world, to impact lives, to make a difference. You have listened to your heart, followed your soul's work, and actually rolled up your sleeves to get to work. And it takes immense courage to do that. It takes grit. It's not easy. And above all, you have come here to learn how to impact more. So I am going to bow to you and I want you to bow to yourself. So I'm going to just remove the permissions and allow everybody to um, start their video. All right. So can everybody put on their videos immediately, and we'll do pat on the back, and we'll also do bow. Okay. On the count of 3, 2, 1, when I say 3, 2, 1, we'll all bow. And we are bowing. Of course, it's easy to bow to others, but today we're going to bow to our own selves, right? We're going to bow to all the beautiful energy inside of us that's making us do our soul's work. All right, so I think everybody is ready. Everybody's ready with the cameras on? Cameras on, everybody. Okay, take 2 minutes. Everybody, cameras on. Only for 15 seconds, then we'll do the camera off. Okay, on the count of 3, 2, and 1, when I say, everybody's going to bow, and we're going to bow to ourselves. All right? Okay. 3, 2, and 1. I bow to myself. Right? And we'll make a promise to never leave the washroom without bowing to yourself, because you are not just you, not the ego self, but the higher energy in you, which is making you do your soul's work, right? And it is a beautiful thing that you're doing, to learning how to impact more and more. And the permissions to camera is off again. You can switch off your cameras. All right. Awesome. Thank you, everybody. Now, I hope everyone has a pen and paper to make a lot of notes. And I'm going to be fast. You have to be with me because, like I said, it's going to be a 2 days challenge. We are going to be learning and listening and assimilating a lot of stuff. So make sure you're with me. Everything else can wait. Your pets can wait, parents can wait, kids can wait, your work can wait for 2 hours, because this is your life that we are talking about. So 2 hours, pen and paper, wherever you feel called to, just write to assimilate. There will be activities in the middle where we are learning and creating story selling framework live, wherein I'll pause and ask you to create with me. All right? Okay, awesome. So just to check, how many of you, just quick check, how many of you currently feel uneasy with selling? Type me in the chat, or you feel, or you attracting a lot of freebie seekers, or you probably don't know what to post, to get high value clients? If this is you, type me. I want to know your current situation. Right? So I want to tell you that after this session, after this challenge, you are going to find selling really easy and joyful. Just like you do your work, selling is going to be that joyful. You're also going to learn how to attract premium clients who do not haggle for your prices, who do not shy away from making that premium investment in you. And you will exactly know what to say and how to say to attract these premium people, people who want to invest in you, right? and and of course I want to reward you. And this is also some one of my very important work. I'm going to be giving you my winning live training, how to start attracting anything you want: health, relationship, business, high value plans. This is a live workshop happening next week. Y'all will be invited for that. It's going to be it's actually a premium workshop, but you're going to be getting it as a complimentary thing for everybody who attends today's session. Also, about 45 minutes from now, you will also learn how to introduce yourself in less than 1 minute and be remembered forever by your high value clients. So I'm going to teach you the 1 minute intros pitch. So because we encounter that all the time, right? We go to parents teacher meeting, we go to parties, we go to in the elevators, and we go for trekking and we required to introduce ourselves, and we're like loss of words. What do I say? And then people don't even remember. But what can you say in just about 30 seconds that you'll be remembered forever? So, somebody remembers, okay, this person is an energy healer. I know I have spoken to him while trekking. 30 seconds he told me, and this guy is attracting high value clients. So this is what you're going to learn. And specifically, we're going to also talk about, the real juicy stuff of how we attracted $15,000 worth of deal, individual clients, corporate clients, without any hard selling, chasing that we all hate, right? How many of you want to work also with corporate as well as individual clients? Type me in the chat. I'm just curious because I'm going to be sharing the strategies and methods for both, because I have worked for both corporate clients as well as individual clients, and I work for both. And even a lot of people, uh, I would ask you to, when you're starting out, you can also take the possibility of working with both, right? Awesome, beautiful. Okay, now some house rules. This is not a get rich quick scheme, or you do nothing but get paid. I'm looking for generally people who love doing what they do. They are good at what they do. Okay, so that's a house rules. And the method that we're going to learn is so magical that I have attracted high values consistently, for institutions, corporate opportunities. I'm having a nomadpreneur lifestyle and traveled about 10 plus countries in the last 6 years. So this is all is possible for you too, with not so much of high tech, or in fact, you'll get to know that I didn't even have a website to start with. So I'm going to also share a couple of people who you probably can resonate with. Trey was earlier relying only on word of mouth references for his consulting business, but after he started using story selling method, he's been consistently getting premium leads, 30 to 50 every week using social media. We have Christy here, who is tired of spending a lot of time on social media for a business, not getting results. So story selling method, 20 to 30 leads every week. And you're going to see some of these stories in just a moment. What are they writing? I'm also going to share that with you. Complete step by step. I'm going to give it all to you, right? Okay, Nora, some of you are also, already running a company or something. I see some of the education companies also here. So Nora made her entire team of 3 people learn the story method. And for their, financial consulting, they're getting 8 to 9 premium leads every single day. So you could be a personal brand or a service. I'm here to show you how. Just type in the chat if you have not introduced yourself. What do you do? For confidential reasons for everybody's security, the chats are moderated because I want to maintain the privacy. Some of you had mentioned. Some of you are doing very intimate work as well. So we'll keep that private. Okay. So don't worry, chats are moderated. You can share whatever you want to with us so that we can help you out, right? Okay. So the goal of the challenge and today's class is very clear. I want to show you the only way to attract clients using stories. And even if you don't have any results to show, and also create your $5,000 per month plan without hi-fi tech, the funnels, etc., which is very overwhelming, even if you're starting out, right? So I'm going to share those plans with you, exactly what has worked for me and others. Sounds good? Give me a good, guys. Give me a EXT, excited in the chat, so that I know that I am, in an exciting company as well. And I know that everybody's loving it. Okay, awesome. Thank you. Thank you for guys. Please keep it very interactive as well for me so that I know you're enjoying it, you're learning it. And feel free to put questions as well. Okay. Okay. Now, how many of you are attracting freebie seekers or low paying clients? Let's begin with the rant. Let's begin with the elephant in the room. Like you could say, okay, yeah, Latika, I attract a buttloads of people who want things for free. You know, but I can't say no. Things like that. Just keep telling me in the chat. Tell me your complaints. We'll just do some complaining here right now. Open the space to share what are you going through right now and see how we can also tackle it. I want you to genuinely share because only when you share with me your issues, I can probably help you specifically as well. Okay, so yeah, complaints have started pouring. Okay, yeah, right? So, Anupama, tell me more. What happens and why? Yes, Rakesh. Some of you want to change your names. You can do your names change because there's an option to change the name if you want me to call your correct name. Okay. So let's also understand, guys. I know I've spoken to some of you, and some of you tell me that y'all are like, okay, but somebody is asking me for free and I just give it. I can't say no. Or sometimes I feel it's okay. They're asking for free, I'm helping them out. But at the same time, it's not like you have a designated charity work. It's not like you are running an NGO. You don't want money. You want to leave your job. You want to really make a thriving living doing what you love doing. But if you're still doing it for free because of your limitations, not that you really want to, but it's just happening to you, let's see what's the cost. Can we just do this number right now? And this is going to blow your mind. Okay, so let's do this. I wanted to pick a realistic number of people that you can potentially impact. Okay, let's take whatever your age is. Next 10 years, give me a number that you think next 10 years you should impact. It can be through books, workshops, online programs, online workshops, whatever, next 10 years. Can I say 10,000? I think 10,000 is a doable number for so many of you. Whatever you might be doing in the next 10 years, whatever kind of program you do, if you do a lot of work, maximum people, good number can be 10,000. Okay. So 10,000 people, if you're impacting, that means you're transforming them either with your writing, either with your programs, either with your products, whatever. And they put an average fee of 50,000. Minimum could be 25,000, maximum can be 1 lakh, but average can be 50,000. I'm just putting a number so that, of course, minimum this is this. I want to work. The reason you are here because I want you to level up a minimum of 50,000 average. Some of you are doing bigger than that, great. But right now, we're talking about the minimal work. Okay, so let's multiply 50,000 fees into 10,000. How much does that come out to be? Can anybody give me a number? Right? $500 million. Or let's say, no, not $1 million, because 10,000, 50,000 rupees. So it is 50 crores, right? So by serving low-paying clients or freebie seekers who don't have skin in the game and or probably act, and you think you deserve that, you think that you only deserve such people, you can't deserve bigger people, you are just giving it away, you are leaving this money on the table just like that. It's just gone. Shh. Right? Think about it. Now, don't confuse charity work with low paying. When I say low paying or freebie seekers, I mean to say people who are spending big money on other places in luxuries, but they're not paying you. I'm talking about such people. Don't confuse with, you can come back to me and saying, but Latika, I want to do charity work. That's okay, right? We also want to help people. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about people who are spending. These people will ask you for discounts and you are giving them free, but they are going for business class holidays. They're going for spending in their Gucci bags. They're not paying you, right? We're talking about that. We'll come to the how and why of that in just a minute, but let's just understand the cost of it. Okay. Now, let's also take a moment here, talk about the cost of not having fulfillment. You know, when you are putting that lot of energy, time in your healing work, in your meditation work, into your coaching work, and you are not getting paid adequately, that's not fulfilling. Yeah, it might be little fulfilling because you left your job, which was high paying, which was comfortably paying. But how is this fulfilling? Because you're not getting paid. We need both. We need fulfillment, doing what we love doing. Plus, it has to be lucrative. It has to be meeting our financial needs, right? The price is, you're paying a big price for that. Now, another calculation is, let's take a minimum amount, a minimum number of people. Like some of you say, okay, but I don't think I want to do a little work that supports my lifestyle. So let's take a minimum number of people in the next 10 years. Can all of you do 1,000 people? 1,000 people can you transform in the next 5 years, 10 years, right? Again, do the calculation, 1,000 into 50,000. Again, this is the number. We are just leaving on the table poor earnings, income loss. This is the number that we are not claiming. This is yours. This is yours to have. This is abundance. This money energy is yours, but you are just leaving it. It can be used for the amazing charity work that you want to do. It can be used for building the life that you want to do, funding your kids' education, building a house, doing all the work that you want to do, invest in your own education and training, right? But we are leaving this all away. The problem is much bigger than you think it is when you do low paying clients. You cannot help someone if they don't invest equal amount of energy. And when you have more resources, you have more talent, more wealth, more assets, more time, more energy, right? Are you with me so far? Is everybody with me so far? Now, why is this happening? Why does this happen in the first place? Now that we know the number, let's also talk about why does it happen in the first place. Is it because of your communication, of what you say, what you write, how bleakly you're saying, how bleakly you're writing? For example, this is a message of one of my clients who came to me. I was doing audit of her post all the time, and she said, I saw one of the posts saying something like on the, um, free breathwork training, discover the magic of breath at affordable cost, free complimentary sessions, healing should be accessible to all, something on those lines. So if the message is this bleak, this shy, this meekly, and when it comes to pricing, you want to keep it low, affordable, It's not to say that it's bad. You have great intention, but it's coming at a major cost. And what are you valuing? How many of you just get on a seventh heaven by getting a lot of praises, by getting a lot of testimonials and likes and followers, saying, okay, this client of mine really said amazing things about me and I'm feeling so good. And you go into la 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 land. So these are called vanity metrics. They make, vanity metrics, they are very tempting. They make a business look good on the surface, but they don't indicate success or directly contribute directly to your growth or profitability. They might feel you good, but they don't tell how much your business is really performing, right? So they provide meaningful insights on how your business is performing and all of that. What is the metric that you got to go if you wanted to make it a living? And that's why you are here. You want to make your healing work a living. You have to be also working on sanity metrics, right? The sanity metrics, which is the real things, wherein we're talking about actual cash hitting the bank in exchange of your gifts and energy, actual transformation, how many patients actually got cured, not just saying goody things about you, right? This is the metrics when we are running a proper business. And I'm assuming for the next 5 years, if you do have a plan to leave your job or consistently make at least $5,000 a month, sanity metrics is your metrics to focus every week. Give me a thumbs up if this sounds good. If you want to make a proper business, right? Now, the reason your message is so bleak, meeky, and shy and non-frequent, is it because you think somewhere in your heart, some belief that you have is selling is bad, taking money is bad, making money is bad while doing spiritual work, being rich as a healer is bad? Is it coming from there? Is it coming from there, guys? That's why your messages and you are not promoting every day, or you're feeling, shy about that. Now, that might have also, because of the bad experience you probably might have had in somewhere. Somebody might have sold to you something, or the way they were selling to you was very chasing way. You did not like that way. And that old beliefs that were coming from the past is also kind of reinforcing all of that. And you see some bad marketing happening, and that makes you feel, okay, I don't want to be in the same boat. I don't want to sound like other people who are doing bad marketing. And that's why you try to do that meeky, shy communication and talking about low pricing and all of that, and you get low paying clients. So do you think it might be because of your communication, the way you believe about your work, the way you believe about money, and that is resulting into the way you communicate? Yeah. Yes, Sunita. Right? So how about all the good experiences you had? All about so many, I'm sure 80% must be really good experiences wherein you got certain programs, you got certain coaches or healers or programs that have helped you make a decision, who informed you and facilitated you to take action. They were amazing at what they do, and they didn't shy away from talking about it and telling the world how they can help. And so even you got benefited, right? So do you want to take a moment and just say thank you to all the things that you have ever purchased and they have changed your lives in terms of any coaching, healing program, any kind of program, right? And that happened. Thank the person who thank the person who actually sold it to you, because the person who sold it to you, he was not shying. He was believing in his work. He was believing in the pricing. He was believing in the transformation, and said, I want to really help you change your situation. and helped you take that decision. So just take a moment right now. Just close your eyes and thank just two such programs, two such people right now. It'll change the world for you, right? So when that happens, when you start knowing and believing that marketing is just informing, selling is informing about your solution, telling the person about what's possible. Selling is helping the person take action, because people do not take action themselves. They need to be handheld. There's so many other factors we will learn in the sales module. There are like 3 different major factors that they are blocked with. It's not about they getting convinced about you. There are other factors also in play. So your job is just to hold them and make change happen. It's a neurological thing. We as human beings resist change. But if I know that as a healer, as a coach, my job is to just help that person get out of it. And money is an energy exchange, right? The more the transformation, the more the money. Energy exchange. And that results into high-paying clients. Fair enough? Right? Now, why do we charge premium, or why be a rich healer? Let's look at it, right? So how many of you are working with clients who are going through bad health? You deal with people get out of their physical health situation. You could be a fitness trainer, yoga therapist, body worker. How many of you are working with physical health? So a person who is going through physical health issues, he's spending, or he's ought to spend anywhere between 10 to 50 lakhs when his situation gets worse. Let's say in the case of cancer or something, or surgeries, they go to a hospital spending anywhere between 10 to 50 lakhs, right? How many of you are dealing with relationships? People out of bad relationships. How many of you work in that area? Again, divorces cost anywhere between 10 to 50 lakhs, right? Even, marriages, dating apps, or matrimonials, right? You could be an astrologer, numerologist, a therapist. Okay, how many of you work in the area of financial health, helping people have better financial health or get them out of debts? Again, people who are going through bad financial health, that they're already incurring a cost of anywhere between 10 to, multiple crores, right? So they're already going to be incurring this cost if they go to an alternative solutions. But when you as a healer, as a coach, can you charge at least a 10% of what's it already costing them? 10% of 10 lakhs is a lakh. I want everybody to agree on that. And then that this is a possibility, because the clients are ready to pay, because they're already incurring this kind of numbers. The 2 kinds of situation, they're not doing anything about it. Too bad. But if people and you don't want to work with such people because they're already not aware. But people who are aware of their problem, they're already spending or incurring a cost of such nature. Right? So can you charge at least 10% of that? Do you think, or let me paraphrase it, do you think they'll happily pay you at least 10% of that? Right? Obviously, right? There's no question about it. There is absolutely no question about it. I can say that because I have made multi-crores because of this situation. I'll tell you more about it just in a bit. But there is no question about it. So type big yes. Everybody type big yes in the chat as well as in the notebook. Okay? Because you cannot help someone who does not invest equal amount of energy. money energy. If you are spending your time, energy, everything to transform a person, if he doesn't spend the same amount of money, energy, you cannot help him. Period. Agree? Everybody's agreeing with me on that? This is a fact. It's not my fact. You can serve more lives only when you have more. If you are busy, if you have about 5 hours every day and 5 hours is only doing low value work, low paying work, free work, how will you help more people? Because more people means more money you need, more resources you need to travel, to do online, to do ads, to have resources, to have talent, to have team. You cannot do more lives. You can serve more lives when you have more resources, more talent, more wealth, more time, more energy. Right? So it's not like just fun anymore. It's a moral obligation to actually make good money. Agree? If you agree with me, give me a smiley. You see, I have been fortunate enough to work with healers and coaches, amazing ones. So I have worked with Regan Hillier. How many of you know Regan Hillier? She's a manifestation coach in Mind Valley platform, and she's phenomenal at what she does. I've also worked with Mike, right? He's a breath worker coach, and I've also experienced the work of a lot of local healers and coaches who are equally good at what they do, right? I did many workshops. But when I see people like Regan or let's say Mike, when they are charging $5,000 and more for premium fees, I'm like, why am I not local healers charging more? They are charging the same thing for, $200, $500 when they are giving me the same or even more transformation. I have attended programs of both people who charge $5,000 and people who charge $500 as well. And I tell you, the transformation sometimes of the local healers who are charging less is even more. But what does it tell me? That there are people who are ready to pay your premium price, the price that you deserve, right? I've also had the good fortune to work with Neha Bhatt, who is popularly known by her IG handle, Indian sex therapist, who launched her recent book, Unashamed. She's phenomenal at what she does, and she has been helping thousands of men and women dealing with traumas and shame and making the world so much at peace. I also had the good fortune to work with Sadhana, Tantra embodiment coach, with her deep spiritual practice as has been equipping people with the tools and resources to connect with their higher selves and find their inner joy. Now, while these all healers and teachers are making the world so much peaceful and joyful place, we need more. We need much more. When I was working with big corporates, including Cadbury's, Colgate, Citibank, Hilton Hotels, I was heading their marketing campaigns. The marketing campaigns had the power to influence consumer behavior. And I'm talking about influencing the behavior of lakhs and millions of people and also turning out millions of dollars directly or indirectly. I was involved in that kind of work. So marketing is basically power. It has the power to make change happen. Now, the change can obviously be both good and bad, but I would say it's largely bad. Why? Because it wrenches my heart, and you know that, to share that the top 3 industries in the world are not education, not agriculture, but pharma, ammunition, alcohol. Can you see the power of influence? The corporate and government gain nothing from a happy, joyful person who doesn't eat junk, indulge in absolute being fit, or stays happy. This is my exact reason for not wanting to work for corporates anymore. Why should I not empower the positive change makers with the power of marketing to change the world for better? So that is why it's not my job anymore. It's not just your job anymore. It's your moral obligation to serve the world as many lives as possible. Your competition is much bigger than you think. Your competition is not other healers, definitely not your mentors. These are the ones you need to fight with. People who they're choosing them over you. Those perpetual harm over permanent cure. That's what people are aiming for, right? People are ignorant, but you care for them just more, right? You now this should be right now agitating you. If it doesn't, I don't know what will. Your playing small is not helping anyone, and not doing your job should hurt you more than doing it. Doing is hard, but not doing it is harder, right? So healers, the more I make, the more money I make, the more impact I make, the more I operate from there. And there is nothing more spiritual than money. Money is like energy, flows throughout the universe. It represents the exchange and exchange of value in the interconnectedness of things. Viewing money as a spiritual energy allows us to recognize the abundance that exists within us and around us, right? So it's the law of giving and receiving. So we're using money as a tool of growth, right? So the idea being that when we have more healers, more teachers spreading their light, this is how we stop wars. This is how we stop wars. Do you agree to this, guys? When more and more healers are helping people find their joy and peace, there are no wars, right? And that's exactly my work, right? So it is your moral obligation now to not play small anymore. And the only way to do that is have people, have clients who have skin in the game. Only way you can transform them is having a high money energy exchange. The more you have, the more you can serve. You cannot serve when you play small. You cannot change the world. You cannot stop wars if you don't operate from a position of power and influence and impact. So who is this high paying client? Does he look like? How do you attract it? So let's understand how do before you start working with the framework and words and strategies, let's understand at the level of uh, psychology, what does this person look like? Who is my anatomy of the high paying client? So, number one, do you all agree? Think of yourself as somebody who's ready to pay, but you want the best. You are ready to pay premium price if you have a problem, right? Think of you, God forbid, if somebody in your family is going through a major health situation, you are not compromising on their service, right? You are like, okay, I want the best. Okay. Same with your child's education. And you know that the best will need investment. If I want the best, I'll need it requires investment, right? And time is bigger than money for me. As a high value client, my time is more important than money because money can be replenished. Time will not be replenished. So I'm ready to pay more money so I can get rapid growth, right? And they are open to transformation. There's some people, that's also very important. Some people also spend money, but they are not even showing up. I have experienced that, right? So this is the anatomy of a high paying client. So when you are deciding your audience, you want to make sure they have these components, right? So filter one done, you know who is your high paying client. And this is how you start. When you start deciding who is your audience, these are the must-haves. Okay? Every human being on the planet is always moving in one of the two directions when they are making a decision, away from the pain or towards pleasure. And it's your job to be able to talk to both of them, right? Um, right? So somebody, like for example, if you are a relationship coach, right? The person is let's say, going through a torrential divorce. That person is pain right now. Maybe after 2 years, now that person also wants to start dating, really looking for also that he'll be on the spectrum of pleasure, not pain anymore. So your solution might be the same, but you want to talk to both the people in your communication, right? Awesome. Beautiful. So now I want you to be doing the story selling framework with me live. Is everybody ready? So we are actually also, whatever I'm sharing with you, you will be doing it live with me. I'll pause and give you a prompt and do it. Later, we'll connect all the dots and see what we have formed. Okay? Sounds good? Give me a thumbs up. So, what you got to do is, um, wherever I kind of pause and I ask you something, you write that in your notebook. Okay? We'll be creating that story framework together. Now, how many of you are in this situation? You're sick or tired of being in a job you don't like, or you have a burning passion to serve the people, or you're already practicing healing, teaching, or freelancing, but struggling to thrive. Type one or two. Which one is you? One or two? Okay. I just want to let you know, either of the situation, you know, you're not alone. Let's think about it for a second. Schools failed. Schools failed us all. Schools were busy teaching us how to be obedient employees and prepared us very well for the workforce to become an obedient employee. They failed miserably and recognizing and nurturing our unique gifts and talents. Instead of developing our innate strengths, they made us a part of a system and disregarded our intuition, creativity, uniqueness, but favoring only strict obedience to the rules and rational thinking, system thinking, right? Our society as well, parents, instead of supporting us, mocked us. They don't understand why we want to leave our comfortable jobs, fixed pay, comfortable pay coming every month to do something of our own, which is so unpredictable and get into discomfort, right? And then finally, there comes a time in our 30s, 40s, 50s, where we finally want to listen to our heart, soul, and want to make it work and do what we want to do to make a living out of it. But then you start facing the party. How many of you are facing this party? The party of overwhelm, the party of lack of know-how, so much of technology. If I have to start a business, I have to do funnels, text, social media, website, I have to hire people, ads. This is how business has to be done. Like, so many mentors are telling me so many things, which programs to buy. I'm buying courses after courses, lack of proper guidance. And these factors are not leading you anywhere. You are, say, almost the same position where you are in the last year, 2 years back. They're making the path very bumpy or slow progress. Let's change this today. So you are in for the real treat, real eye opener. And I strongly believe that everyone who followed their passion and made it into a living, the world would become a much better place. Right? And so, my friend, you're about to learn a very simple yet magical method to start turning your passion into a consistently profitable business in as little as 8 weeks. So, what I want to do right now, I want you to write down who is your hero. Make it number one. The first element of the story selling framework is hero. Who is your hero? Hero means, who do you serve? Who is your ideal customer? Who is your dream customer? The dream customer that you want to work with is your hero, right? So if you want an example, I would say I want to work with serious healers who want to make their mission into a thriving living. That's my hero. Not the hobbies, not the hobby healers, but the professional healers is my hero. So who is your hero? I want you to write that on paper. It'll take it some time. Take your time. Take about 30 seconds and do this. I'll give you a few examples. One of my clients who is working with people in the second innings, her heroes are people post 50 in their second innings who feel stuck in their life. There is a client of mine who works with who works with, let's say, well, let's take a simple example here. I don't want to take a complicated example. So it is a client of mine who wants to work with people who are, let's say you want to help people find good jobs, right? So people who are, who are in their corporate careers and want to switch to Fortune 500 careers, right? So who are your heroes? Write that in your notebook. Okay. You could be a numerologist, you could be a psychologist, you could be tantra practitioner, you could be a yoga therapist, you could be a dog trainer, a communicator. Who is your hero? That was an activity 1. Okay. Now, what makes me the right person to teach you all of this today? Why should you even listen to me or learn from me? Some of you are you thinking that way? Type yes if in the chat. I would love to know. If you want to know a little bit of my story, type yes. I'm just curious if anybody's interested to know the background along with story selling framework. I'll give you the plan with my short story. A few years ago, I left my corporate job. Wow, I'm loving your answers, everybody. Your heroes are amazing. So a few years ago, I left my corporate job where I headed marketing campaigns for various brands, the international brands as well, which is Colgate, Cadbury, Citibank, driven by the passion to teach the power of marketing to healers, teachers who make the world better. I decided to start my own business. So I also had, worked with institutions like IIMs, Symbiosis, a lot of prestigious institutions, including Goldman Sachs and Niti Aayog, for their digital marketing transformations, for their incubation centers. I also started my own marketing agency, worked with a lot of brands. And I also ran a position of a vice president for an AI training company, for which I have generated about 4.6 crore of revenue with one-to-many selling and one-to-one high value selling. So this is to just show you a couple of things. One is I do have certain things. I do know a thing or two, a little about marketing and selling to be able to teach you all of this. So when I started my business, from scratch, I also felt really unsure about how do I make it grow? Would I even get clients? Could I make as much money as I did my old job? It requires a lot of hard work and the income is uncertain. But there was one thing I was very sure of. I knew how to help people market and sell better. I had to explain my methods in a very simple way so that they could take action. And I kind of grabbed every opportunity to help people talk about what I do, whether at picnics, trekking trips, book meetups, networking events. I was everywhere to talk about what I do. I did not have anything to show in terms of website or anything, right? So one day I attended a personal growth workshop event, and during our tea break, I went to the ladies' room, and there were a lot of other ladies also in the um, um, uh, uh, other ladies also in the washroom, people from the workshop. And we started saying hello to each other, introducing ourselves, like how it happens, right? Hey, hi, what do you do? So after I introduced myself, people around me got really interested in what I was doing, and they had a lot of questions, and they wanted more information. So before I continue the story, I just want you to write, what is the burning problem that your hero faces? Point number two is, what is the burning problem that your hero is facing? Okay. When you are done, just type done in the chat and write. If you can write 2 to 3 major problems, that'll be nice. You can write 2 to 3 major problems that they face. That's okay. 1 second, guys. Okay, so I hope you have written down what is the problem they face.
Recording in progress.
Okay, so now we had to rush back to the workshop hall, coming back to the situation. So, I was in the workshop and I was in the ladies' washroom introducing myself, and a lot of people were asking more about it, but we had to rush back to the workshop. So, Liana, who I had just met in the ladies' room, she came towards me and asked, "Hey, Latika, can I get your contact details? I would love to work with you and see if we can collaborate." And I was like, "Yeah, sure. This is my info." I gave my visiting card to her. Next, Mona, another workshop attendee, she was also coming with me from the ladies' room, and we were chit chatting. And she asked me, "Where are you sitting? Can I get a spot next to you?" So she and I sat together, and because she was talking more about her business, and I was sharing ideas in the hushed whispers. By the time the next tea break rolled up, Mona and I were sipping our tea, and she said something to me, and I was in seventh heaven. She said, "Latika, I would love to work with you. How can I get started?" I was so excited. I attracted a client where I was least expecting. And the very next day, I quickly sent her all the details about my program. I actually created the program, right? Almost like on the email, and then sent an agreement to sign. This is her email confirming the payment, right? And but here is the real magic. I didn't have to sell anything. All I did was tell a story just like this one. And I repeated this process in one to one meetings, in group gatherings, in one to one Zoom calls. And let's look at the numbers also here. So, the process that we're talking about, which I kind of used here also in this ladies' room story, is I did a networking event, you know, out of 19 people who I met in the personal growth workshop, inside that washroom outside, about 19 people. One client, Mona. I did one live video with a community. It was about 36 leads, 2 clients, one post, 39 leads. I'll just show you the post in a bit. So total about 5 clients, right? And if you kind of do an average of even $1,000 per client, just for a simplicity of calculation, this is what we're talking about. And I wanted to do a small activity with me, right? Let's do a small activity. So what I want you to do is, everybody, all of us can do this. This looks pretty doable, right? Let's have a little more fun. Okay, so I want you to multiply 5 into your price per client, an average price, whatever that looks like for you. Just do that activity right now and tell me the number in the chat. 5 clients into either it is $500, 1,000, 2,000, whatever that looks like for you. Just put that calculation, and then we'll talk about how do we go about it. Okay, we all can do at least one event. Yes, we all can do at least one post. We all can do videos. We all can do lives. Okay, and in around 15 minutes, you learn how to introduce yourself just the way I introduced myself. I'll also show you the exact format to introduce yourself in less than 1 minute and be remembered forever by high value potential clients. So the idea being, for 6 long years, I didn't use any high-tech funnels. I didn't even have a website, for God's sake, or even a brochure. I remember going to colleges for my boot camp programs, proposing them. I used to have this A4 sheet and they used to ask me for brochure. I was like, I don't have it. Please ask me questions, I'll tell you. I didn't have any of those. I simply used email and talked to them one-on-one. Now, I'm not saying that don't have them, that's the way. I'm just saying that all of this, we're just being brainwashed that you need all these things to be able to make that bare minimum money. You don't. All these are facilitating your growth. But we're talking about a minimum of, something that you can leave your job and start comfortably, as minimal as $5,000 a month. For that, you don't need all of that. You just need to connect with people in the right way. So what happened? So just 6 years with the same method, same methodology, by meeting people, talking to them about what I do, how I can help them. I had 28 plus corporate clients because I was running a marketing agency, as I shared. We were doing their done for you work. So I have Hilton Hotels as my client who was, they were renewing their contract year on year. So we got 3 years contract. Hospitality chains, institutions, IAMs, companies in education and e-commerce. I also got individual clients, including healers, teachers, consultants, trainers, freelancers, for my Passion to Profit membership. Now, question to you. Question to you is, the third point that you've got to write in your notebook is, who is the guide for the hero to get them out of the problem? What is their story? If you are the guide to get your hero out of the problem, then what's your story? I'll give you 1 minute. Write down whatever comes to you. Intuition, use your intuition. We'll do the fine tuning of it and everything later. But right now, just 1 minute and do this activity. Who is the guide? Is it you? If you are the guide, what is your story? Why should the hero trust you? Why is the hero trusting you? Now you are the guide. So what's your story that is making the hero trust you to take your help and get him out of the problem? Okay. Once you're done, guys, type done so that I'll move forward. Right? Are you with me, guys? Just give me a smiley if you're with me so far. If you're doing the activity with me and if you're understanding the activity, give me a smiley. so that I know we are on the same page. Can everybody give me a smiley to so that I know you're getting it? Thank you. Okay. Now, the big reveal. All this was possible using Netflix. What do you mean? What do you even mean? Let me explain this by saying it's how Netflix keeps you hooked. This is precisely story selling. Every movie story employs this method, and I have to warn you, I'm going to ruin movies for you forever. Okay. So I was using the story selling method used by Netflix, but I was using it when Netflix was not, I didn't even know what Netflix was. It was that time. But the story selling is formulaic. Storytellers have figured out how to keep audience attention for hours. Nearly every story that you see or hear in nutshell is this. Okay, tell me if this is true. A character who wants something encounters a problem before they can get it. At the peak of their despair, a guide steps into their lives, gives them a plan, and calls them to action. The action helps them avoid failures and ends in success. And that's really it. Right? You will see some form of the structure in every movie, show you watch. And once you recognize this framework in stories, you will understand exactly if your story and your brand might be confusing other people if you're not sticking to your formula. So let's take examples. Lion King, Star Wars, Titanic, Matrix, Forrest Gump, DDLJ, Sholay, all the possible movies that you know of follow this same framework, and every movie includes the elements, meaning all these elements. If every movie is using these elements, it means something, right? After thousands of years, storytellers in the world have arrived on this formula as best practice. So any movie that does not following this framework most likely kind of fails in the box office, if you have kind of think about it. Okay, but how does it apply in business? Why are we talking about Netflix here? That's the beauty of it. That's the magic. The good news is these formulas work just as well as growing your business as they do at entertaining your audience. It's a very powerful framework for business. Remember, we talked about marketing, impact, influence. That's a work of business. As a healer, you need marketing, impact, influence. And that happens with story selling. Let's see how do we apply this in business. Okay, so some of you have already done the 3 points with me, right? You have written already your hero, the character. You've already written the problem that they face. You've already written the guide story. Next, I'm going to ask you to plan. Okay, so let's see in the context of business, how do we use story selling? So every story has to be about someone who specifically is your client, who specifically is your customer. You've already done that, right? I asked you to do it. Now, next is the problem. Every story needs to have a situation that needs to be resolved. What is the mental and emotional challenge in your customers and clients that are facing? Right? I have been sharing that in my story I shared many problems that people face. Similarly, I've asked you to write down that. Then comes the guide. Guide is you or your brand or your company position yourself as someone who can help. The mistake that a lot of people do and used to do is they make themselves the hero. You're not the hero. Sorry. Your customer is, your client is, your potential client is. You're the guide. Who is guide, who has been there, done that, and that's your story. Now, plan. What's your plan? How are you going to help the hero? This is how. Are you how are you going to solve your client's problem? Are you offering a coaching, proven process, easy to use tools? What is the method? Right? And then comes call to action. Call to action, in most cases, we don't just decide to take action. We need to be called to act, right? What needs to happen for the clients to take action? What do they need to do, right? I'm going to tell you the next step, for example, so that you have like 5 different options, but I will tell you what to do next, right? Next is failure. The Even if all of this, even if the guide has a plan, the hero can still fail, right? Even as your client can still fail, even if they follow the plan. So what do? You There are consequences. You also give him a plan to avoid failure, right? Also give him a plan to avoid failure. And then also prepare him for success. What does success looks like? What happens if things are fine, if things go exactly the way you all planned? How will it benefit the client? What will be the after story, right? So these steps help you craft compelling stories that resonate with your audience and attract clients for your business. I'm going to give you more examples of people, of healers who are using the same framework and have gotten clients. How many of you would love, give me a hand raise if you want actual story examples of numerologists or dietitians who have gotten clients using this framework? Okay. Can I give you one? Uh, yeah, sure. Okay, now activity. Hi, Uneza Singapore wala. Okay, now I want you to write what is your plan. What is your plan as a guide for your hero? Just like I gave you a plan, what is your plan for your guide? What is your plan as a guide for your hero? Take 30 seconds, write that down. So what you see, we're actually creating this for you. I'm actually helping you create this, and I'll also give you an option to audit your story. Okay, how many of you want to know how did I introduce myself and how you can do the same? Let me show you how I use story selling to introduce myself in that ladies' room. And I'm going to read that out for you so that you understand. And I use the exact story selling framework. Now, because I have been using the story selling framework in and out, it comes naturally to me with practice. Okay. So for example, this is what I shared in the ladies' room. Somebody asked me, okay, hey, hi. So what do you do, Latika? So I said, the professionals who leave their jobs to pursue their dreams but get overwhelmed and struggle to market and sell their work, and they end up to regular jobs, and sometimes they never make their passion as a means of living. So what I do is I make the marketing process easy and joyful for them using story selling that helps them attract high value clients with ease, so that they can finally turn their passion into a consistently profitable business without keeping their day job. And I would encourage you to join my monthly Rich Healer Challenge to get a taste of what it's like. And here it is. This is the breakdown of my introduction. There was a character. This was the character, the professionals who leave their jobs, right? The problem is that they get the struggle, they're overwhelmed, the market to market and sell. The guide is me, wherein I'm sharing that how I make that easy. And avoid failure. What is avoiding failure? Have to go back to the job is failure, right? If you're not able to do it. So I help you avoid that failure. And there is a call to action, right? How many of you want to do this for yourself? How many of you want a framework to be able to do this for yourself? Great, Manju, awesome. How many of you want to do this with me? Okay, awesome. Let's do this. Are you ready? I'll give you the framework. Are you ready? Okay. For this, you have to be ready with the things that we did, right? You should be ready with who are your people? what are the different problems that they face, and what do you do to help them avoid? And this is the framework. Here you go. Okay, I've just created this for you so that it's easy. Okay, I'm gonna give you 30 seconds. Sorry, 1 second. I'm gonna give you 30 seconds to do it. Don't worry about the perfection, because right now you can do this at home and share with me later. I didn't, yeah, sorry. Are you guys able to see the framework? I think not. Are you able to see the framework? 1 second. I don't think you're able to see it. Let me share it again. Give me 1 second, guys. Slideshow and presenter view. Okay, got it. So I'm gonna share my screen now. And here you go. Now you're able to see it, okay? So this is the framework, okay? So for example, now you see my audience are 2 to 3 different types, okay? Some people who are starting late in their life, in their 40s, 50s. There are people who are wanting to quit their jobs, but want to start their healing work. And then there's some people who are already doing healing, but they're finding it very salesy. So I'm just tweaking my introduction in any way. So for example, I say, you know how healers and coaches hate selling, because of that they get freebie seekers. So I help healers and coaches attract high paying clients with ease and joy, so that they can be highly paid healers without feeling salesy. Okay, so this is for already healers who are attracting freebie seekers. Then there are other people. Another way I say that, I see who am I talking to. Okay. So other way I say it is, I help healers get fully booked with high paying clients using social media in 12 weeks, so that they can become rich and financially independent without using hi-fi tech, even if they begin later in their life. You see? So there are specific elements inside the uh, when we are actually creating it inside the Passion to Profit Lab. What we do is we do something called money making research, wherein we do a lot of pinpoint a lot of problems and frustrations and fears and desires. When you know burning fears, burning desires, burning problems, then it's easy to kind of quickly put that in the format. So I'll give you 1 moment to do it, and don't worry, I'll give you an opportunity to fine tune it. Just in a moment, I'll give you an opportunity to also make it perfect. Okay, fine. You can just start working on it. Do the raw draft. It's okay. It takes time, but do your raw draft, make 2 to 3 versions of it. And then I'm also going to give you an opportunity to get it audited by me. So for some of you, only for some of you, I can go through and check and help you create a very powerful, impactful intro pitch. Awesome. Or already got Neha's. Neha, is that okay if I share yours with other people? Okay, awesome. I'm just, anybody who, because I can't allow everybody's, so I'm just sharing Neha, what she wrote. Although this is not like a benchmark for uh, the pitch, but I'm just sharing about the effort and the lovely work that she has chosen to share with us. Okay. So use it as just a referring point about what she's what is she doing and how elaborate she has written it all. Okay. Now, I want to tell you that I have been using the same story selling framework throughout this presentation. Isn't this amazing? How many of you find this really amazing? I've been using the same story selling framework throughout this presentation. In fact, I've been using for the same framework for so many years in a one to many formats with another AI training company. Like I told you, have been doing and winning amazing clients. Why? Because simply you have a beautiful gift. You have the passion. Your work really works. Your model really works. But the impacting. But when it comes to telling the people, it has to be done in a certain way in touching the neurological pathways of other people. And that's why there is a framework. How to say. Remember how there's a way to say talk to kids because there is a different way they operate on. Similarly, when somebody is learning something from us, they have to be touched base in different ways. There has to be entertainment, there has to be learning, there has to be simplicity, and there has to be action taking. So it's orchestrated in a beautiful way. Now, how many of you need a little extra help? Get your story selling framework audited by me so that you can at least create 5 stories that give you hundreds of leads, and also get your 1 minute intro audited by me to make it unforgettable. So there are two things, two activities that you've already done, right? You have done on the story selling framework that you are creating live with me, and then you have intro. How many of you want both of these things audited by me? Okay, so we kept this a challenge. We kept this challenge completely free at the moment. Yes, Shweta. Yeah. Now, and made the extra support paid. So we also had the option to keep this entire 2 days paid so that everyone can get extra support. But we made the extra support optional. So here is what I invite you to do. If you feel called to, you can get your story selling framework audited by me so that you can get and create at least 5 stories that gives you hundreds of leads. You can get your 1 minute intro audited by me, and you can also access the membership, the highly paid membership, for 3 months. So this is my call to action for you, because tomorrow, guys, I will be offering my annual membership to people who are aiming for $5,000 per month or more, and giving them weekly progress tracking, personalized support. Tomorrow I would not have this for you because there'll be a lot of other people who will be needing a higher level of support. So only for today, we have this very small offer wherein I can give you a personal auditing and help you craft your story selling and give you the membership. So just type the link so that we share that booking link with some of you. Give me 1 second. Okay. Give me 1 second, guys. Okay, I've just shared the link with you guys. Feel free to book this. And this is only for today. For tomorrow, we will have the openings for the annual membership only. Okay, and we'll be doing only VIP support. Awesome. Now, I want you to write what is your call to action. In your story selling framework, what is your call to action? So remember, you have done the hero, you have identified the problem, you have identified with the guide story, you have done your plan. Okay, now what's the call to action for your hero? Type that in the chat or write that in the notebook. Okay, all right. Now, how many of you, if you need a moment, do you need, okay, the call to action, let me give you an example. The call to action can look like something like, okay, booking a call. Or if you have something for trial, you can give them a trial, right? So all these things look like a call to action. Okay. Now, why is story selling hands down the easiest way to attract clients? Scientifically speaking, human brains have been hardwired to pay attention to stories since the beginning of humanity. So communicating important messages with story method helps you entertain them, educate them, ultimately persuading them to take action. So when you tell stories, it's like you are having a heart to heart with that emotional part of the brain, creating a powerful connection. The problems and challenges that you are showcasing, and the hero is able to connect with that immediately. They are able to resonate. Uh, and when you amplify that you know what happens, what is the consequence if he doesn't solve that problem, it finally makes them feel understood and trusted. And that's when the magic happens. They're ready to make decisions. So story selling is a beautiful way, and that's how we have been hardwired from the very beginning. And it's science is a very fascinating fact that when it comes to making decisions, any decision, going to which doctor, even buying a program or anything, we take the decisions emotionally first and then we justify with logic. So that is why in our communication, we use both logic and emotions sprinkled in an engineered way, because human mind is a work of art. You have to touch the right places in the right way, the way it feels understood. And I'm assuming that we all are amazing people. We really want to help people. We are here for a long term. So nobody is here to mislead anybody. Nobody is going to do anything one time, right? So that means you're able to kind of, connect with people's emotional brain, help them feel understood. You can make them understood only when you actually understand them, only when you actually have spent that time in talking to hundreds of people. um, you know doesn't matter if they have been your clients or not, but understanding your ideal audience, it can be by just researching about them, by talking to them one-on-one, by talking on a group level, wherever. Only when you understand, or if you have been in that position. They say that you are your client a few years back. If you know your own story, if you know what you were going through, now that you surpass that, you're helping other people do that. So that's what it is, right? Now, tomorrow, day 2, we will use the simple story selling to create a plan for $5,000 per month. And you copy that plan that my clients and my members are using, right? So let's also talk about quickly the how to get leads, how to get premium leads using social media without spending on ads. Now, you use story method to not only close high paying clients, but also get a lot of premium leads. And the best part is you don't have to rely on references, word of mouth, run ads. So this is one post, if you can see here, this got me 195 leads. So let's see how. Okay, I'm going to read this exact post for you. The post said like this: Did you forget to post on Instagram on time? Your heart races, fearing that not many people will see it. Hustling to create design post takes over an hour. Meanwhile, your tiny tot is cranky. You promised them to take him to the park, and you didn't want him to let him down. You bring him to the park, find a spot, hastily grab your phone. He becomes sadder, watching other kids happily playing with their parents, drowning in the guilt. Ever been there? This might change how you approach marketing for your business. Let me show you how to regain your sanity, attract 5 premium clients, spending no more than 15 minutes. Type me if you need a demo class. Right? And how does, why does story method work for social media as well? Again, simply because, we are hardwired to pay attention to stories. We want to be entertained as well as educated as a byproduct, right? And that's it. That's about it, right? And the same framework you use on also direct messages and chats. And I'm going to give you all this, the ready to use templates. Don't worry. It is used for one-to-one, one-to-many, Facebook groups, direct messages, going live. So remember, in other tech things, you had like restricted to some kind of format. Here we're talking about how to say what to say, which is simply coming from your heart, but engineered in a way to make the person, um, go through all the steps, which is basically resonating with the problems or pains. We call it 4 drivers. What is the 4 drivers are, problems, frustrations, desires, and goals. Okay. How many of you want more examples? I'm just curious because we have not much time left, but if everybody is interested, I can give you 2 more winning examples of story selling. 2 more examples of story selling. How many of you want that? Okay, great. I'm going to give Neha, the link is opening for it's opening. It's a if you go down. Okay, guys, just let me show you quickly. Some of you are maybe having okay. So this is if you go to this link, here is the 3 months plan wherein I'm giving you audits here only for today. This won't be there today. Sorry, this won't be there tomorrow. Okay, so this is only for today. This I can help you. Whatever you did today, I can help you and give you a complete one-on-one audit and clarity and see and make your story perfect there. Okay, this is only for today. So this is what you have to click on. All right. Okay. I'm going to give you 2 more examples before we go ahead. 2 more amazing examples before we go ahead. Okay. So now, anybody who works in numbers or anything, numerologist. Okay, I want to give you a very powerful example of story selling of a numerologist. This is a client of mine who is, working both in astrology and numerology. And after he learned the story method, he had created this amazing story, which has gotten him 5 high value clients. When I say high value, I mean to say anything above 50,000, right? So let me just share with you his story, the story post that he had written. Okay. So it is the same framework that we have learned today. And the heading was, if you are not able to see, what you have to do is just make it, zoom it out. If you're able to see this, guys, type yes. I'm going to read it out for you. The secret numbers that landed him a dream job abroad. Manish had been feeling stuck in his job with no significant growth for a very long time. He felt directionless, unsure of how to progress in his career. It was deeply unfulfilling for him. When he attended a reunion with his friends, his self esteem took a hit as he witnessed everyone else progressing by leaps and bounds in their careers, traveling for fancy holidays, buying luxury cars, and so on. He couldn't shake off the feeling that there was something more out there for him. If others could achieve such growth and success, why couldn't he? He just didn't know where to begin. One Sunday, he stumbled upon my free session at a bookstore where he usually came for coffee and reading. I was sharing an introductory session on numerology with the book club members. I explained how numerology is the ancient study of symbolic and mystical significance of numbers dating back thousands of years. At its core, numerology is based on the idea that everything in the universe, including our lives, can be reduced to a numerical value. These numbers hold specific vibrations and energies. After the session, Manish approached me with curiosity and had a lot of questions. I offered him a complimentary one-on-one session to understand his situation better and shared with him numerology systems to carve a growth plan for him. It was like a light bulb moment for him. Suddenly, everything started to make sense. He said the numerology session helped him understand his strengths, weakness, deepest desires in a way he never thought was possible. As we delved deeper into the world of numbers, patterns began to emerge in his life that he had never noticed before. It was like looking at his life through different lens, one that has revealed hidden truths and insights. With the guidance of numerology, Manish was able to uncover his true purpose and take actionable steps towards his goals. We devised a number system plan for him to follow for 90 days. On the 65th day, he received an interview call for a VP position in Toronto and he got selected. It was a dream come true for him, and the first person he called was not his mother or wife, but me. He was in seventh heaven. Numerology doesn't require to follow any cult or have any blind faith. It doesn't ask you to go for fortune telling or mystical predictions. It doesn't conflict with practicing any faith. You don't need to be good at maths or understand its complexities. Numerologist simply uses a person's birth date, name, and other relevant information to calculate their code numbers. Those numbers are then interpreted to reveal insights about an individual personality, life purpose, and potential challenges. I want to share the power of numerology with you so that you can go from being stuck to experiencing rapid growth. Together, we will embark on a journey of transformation and unlock the door to brighter future. You don't have to stay stuck and waste any more months and years of your life. Let's help you take control and claim your highest potential. If you're ready to unlock the secrets of your own destiny, take control of your life, just say yes below. And there are people who booked the calls. And how many of you love this? This is story selling, guys. This is exactly what story selling is. And and we follow the exact same framework, and it comes with practice in no time. And I'm going to give you one last example, and this is a powerful example of a newspaper ad that was done about 30 years ago, and it is still working. It is a benchmark for the story selling because this, to some of you, I will give you this article. You will get that in the, you will get that right away in the audit itself. So this is using the story selling framework exactly the way we said, and it's a diet program. It's a program about reducing weight, losing weight, and a diet program, and using the exact same story selling framework. How many of you are in the health sector or the health field? This is what the story selling framework is. It's a beautiful. I don't want to read it out to you because it's like really long, but I'm happy to give it to you. Okay, awesome. So that was that. Okay, so tomorrow, how many of you are really excited about tomorrow? Because tomorrow we are going to learn how to charge more than your competition Sometimes a lot of you are saying, okay, but competition is charging this, so I can't charge more. There are people who are charging only, let's say, 1,000 rupees for Reiki healing. I can't charge 5,000. Well, I'm here to tell you, you can charge whatever you feel is right. It can be a premium. If you think your transformation is worth it, you want to give your 200% energy to your work, and you can still close deals. Okay? I want to empower you with that because I'm going to show that to you tomorrow. And then we also going to do your $5,000 per month plan using 3 simple steps without any hi-fi tech, even if you're starting out, even if you're starting late in life. Okay? Anyway, that's an illusion. I don't believe in that. So, all the story examples that we have seen today, I want to give this to you ready. All of this is there in the membership. There are about 50 different examples. You can just copy. When you're starting out, guys, I ask you to just copy paste the framework and write down, just fill in the blanks so that you get a practice and you know what needs to be done. Initially, you don't have to learn so much. In just about 1 week time, you are able to churn out really amazing stories. In fact, I have so many stories of my clients who are into feng shui, energy healing, dog training, Ayurveda, yoga therapy, who are writing amazing stories. So I'm happy to give them out to you. You just have to tweak here and there and use the framework. And when it gets into a practice, you simply start doing that. Okay, now some of you wanted to get this audit done. I'm happy to take the audit today. And if I'm just sharing the link once more for everybody here. This is only for today, guys. I'll not be able to offer this tomorrow. Tomorrow we have people for bigger support. Tomorrow we will have the invitation to be a part of the the annual membership. And that's again also for some people who are, only for people who are like done with, living a small life, done with being dependent. When you know that you got so much in you, when you are done with your day job and you're ready to play big, you're ready to serve more, live your passion and make it a thriving living, make a means of living and mission and do the uncomfortable. I'm going to offer this only to those people, because I need you to be ready for that, right? And I also, if not now, then when? Ask yourself that too. And I'm very excited to show you this. This was sent to me by one of my members, and this is really funny. And this is amazing, actually. This is exactly what she felt, and she shared that in the community. One second. I have to share the sound as well, I think. I'm not sure if I have shared the sound. Share sound, and then yes. Great. Beat me, hate me, you can never break me. Will me, thrill me, you can never kill me. Chew me, sue me, everybody do me. Kick me, kite me, don't jump like a bite me. All I wanna say is that they don't really care about us. All I wanna say is that they don't really care about us. I tell me what has become of my life. I have a wife and 2 children who love me. I am the victim of police brutality. No. I'm tired of being the victim. Yeah, so this is the possibility, guys. Okay. How many of you are really excited for tomorrow? Type EXD in the chat, and I will be meeting you exactly at 11 a.m. Tomorrow at 11 a.m. is where we meet. And I just want to welcome, I confirm, I want to welcome, I know some of you have already gotten into the membership. I know Shubhra has, Fancy, Fiona and Sanjeev, Siddharth. I know you guys have already got into the membership, but I just want to let you know that we have some bigger plans for tomorrow. And if you want your things to be audited, I know Rubina, Manjot, Sonam, Preksha, Vivek Ranganathan, you guys have opted for the audits. Great. And there are 5 more people I don't have the names as yet. So if anybody gets called to, and you want to get your audits done, please feel free to do that. Yes, sure, Neha. Most welcome. You can do a GPay too. In fact, let me just share it with everybody. If anybody wants to having issue with GPay, here is the if you're having issue with the card, here's the GPay number. Okay. Okay. Now, anyone, let's see if you want to, ask any questions, or do you want to share anything? Anybody wants to come live? Abhishek, Anupama, Arvindra, Asavari, Dhaval, Kanishka, Kausav, Manju, Priya, Neha. If anybody wants to come live, just type yes in the chat and we can do, a little talk. Any question that you have, feel free to ask because we're just about to wrap up. All right, so it's Neha who wants to come live. Let me allow the videos now. Unmute yourself. Okay, the restrictions have been lifted. You can be anybody who wants to go come live and talk. Y'all can do that. You can unmute yourself and start talking. In fact, you can. Hi, Neha. Give me 1 second. Let me just stop the share. Yeah. Hey, so good to have you.
And I'm so grateful for this class. And this has been like so clear. So, I have been, before coming to this class, I was working with another coach and it did not work for me. The alignment didn't happen. So I had to put a stop to that program that I had signed up for. It was a 3-month program and I stopped that program after 1 month because I was not feeling aligned with the course. But now when I come here, I see why I was not feeling aligned. And I was able to identify, okay, this is what is happening. This is how I want to serve. And I loved your approach. I loved the way you explain things. And, I love your energy so much. So thank you. Thank you so much for doing this. And yes, that's it. I had no questions. Everything was addressed very clearly throughout the call. So there are no questions as such right now. But yeah, love it. Love it. Just wanted to thank you for hosting this for all of us.
Thank you so much, Neha. Thank you for being so gracious to, share your thoughts and be grateful. Amazing.
Thank you.
Question to you is, just one for my personal feedback. We are doing this story selling activity to help you create your story live.
Right.
Was it helpful? Was it easy to understand? Was it assimilating?
Yes, yes. I was journaling throughout. So it was very difficult for me to, journal and type and, by the time it would go out. But yes, so I did create a story. I was able to identify, I was able to get clarity on who I want to serve, what I want to do with my programs, and the clarity that I always knew I wanted to work with women. That has been the clarity. But with women doing what? So what are the challenges that my hero is facing? It really helped. So yeah. And why they should trust me. It gave me a sense of confidence. Okay, this is what I have done, and that is how I'm capable enough to guide them.
Right, right.
So
And
that
also,
really helped.
also the way I had structured it was I was doing the same. I don't know how many of you noticed this. I was being the guide, and then I was giving you prompt to now you be a guide. This is my hero. Now what's your hero? So I just want to know, were you able to get that, everybody? That
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, because the whole idea is that you should be able to understand the storytelling framework and use it on your own. So I wanted to make sure that it's easy to understand. One problem that I can see some people might have कि okay, but यार इतना language English कैसे आएगा? ये तो बहुत English का काम है. So two things here. One is the framework, guys. जो movie director भी होते हैं, उनको English नहीं आता हमेशा. They know the framework. Okay, for people who agar your audience is English speaking, or if you are English speaking and if you want to fine tune, we have a beautiful resource who works for free. Everybody knows who is he. It's Chat GPT, guys. AI, and I'll teach you how to use it. I use AI. All my stories, all my clients are using AI. आपने framework बना दिया, Chat GPT ने English लिख दिया. Now, also one question I got is, what if English is not there? I have my client who does only in Hindi. She's a life coach, but works with women who are from the lower stratas, and she talks only Hindi. And I tell her to create all her content in Hindi. Similarly, I have somebody who is in Tamil. It's all fine. The framework remains the same. Bollywood, Tollywood movies, and Hollywood movies, the framework remains the same, right? That's why I gave examples of Hollywood movies. All right. Thank you so much, Neha, for coming live.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Anybody else wants to come live, ask any question, or just share anything that you feel like? Hi, Manju. Thank you. Priya, Kanishka, Dhaval, Anupama. All right. So, guys, please mark your calendars for 11 a.m. tomorrow. Tomorrow, we are actually creating the, $5,000 plan. I know if it sounds something like, okay, oh my, I'm not even at $1,000. I'm not even at 2,000. Or some of you may be like, okay, but I 5,000 to make it easy. I already make 5,000. This is just a plan. So what I say is, from $1,000 to $10,000, you don't need any tech. I don't believe that you need to invest in ads or need hi-fi tech. Kyunki the story selling is just connecting with hearts of the people. If you are good at what you do, and one-on-one is what you want to work with, and you only need 5 to 10 clients. We just did a number maths. We did a money maths, right? And according to money maths, to get your $1,000 a month or $5,000 a month or $10,000 a month, you only need not more than 5 clients, right? And you can always play with pricing. जितना आपका transformation है उतना आप pricing के साथ खेल सकते हैं. I'm just using Hindi as well. So that's a thing. So that's number one. That's what we are discussing. And the second thing that we are talking about tomorrow is, how do you charge? How can you keep your pricing high? Like, you don't have to reduce your pricing because competition is reducing, or competition का कम है या किसी और का कम है या किसी ने बोला डिस्काउंट करने के लिए. If you feel like कि हाँ मुझे कम करना है तो ठीक है. अगर आपका ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन ही बहुत बड़ा है, if you are helping somebody really get out of their financial situation or get out of their relationship situation, and you're changing their lives, your transformation is worth so much more. You are pouring your life and energy in it. You can charge whatever you want to. It is not a function of ego, it's money energy. Right? Another mindset thing, that is something to be covered inside. So we do these weekly sessions every week, inside which we tackle a lot of issues. I think that's for later for you to understand. कुछ लोगों का ऐसा भी हो सकता है कि मैं बोल रही हूँ कि $1,000 या $5,000, you may be like, oh my god, मैंने तो कभी इतना रिसीव करा ही नहीं. I'm getting overwhelmed with this money. I can't receive it. That's only a mindset issue. And I would also say, so many of your healers, that's somatic work. Just because you have not done that, because आपकी conditioning हो रखी है इतने time तक, it doesn't mean that you're not deserving it. You deserve it versus your condition to not deserve it is two different things. So we play with a little bit of somatics inside the program. We increase our money energetics. I call it business energetics. You have to be able to give much more. For that you should be open to receiving more. And opening of the receiving will not just happen from your mind. It has to happen from your body, from your cellular level as well. You have to be open to receiving. Making a lot of money should be a thing of abundance, not a function of ego or greed or, you know, non acceptance. It should be a function of abundance. I give more, I receive more. It's just energy exchange. That's all. Okay. So, like I said, we are working on both. Energy is a continuous work, which basically means, working with intuition in business, which nobody talks about. Strategies, everybody talks about. But I think you cannot work on a sustainably if you are here for long term. And if you want to do a real fulfilling work that you don't get bored of, you have to work with both money, energy, and strategy, right? It has to be a work of intuition as well as your rational mind. Business strategies, or rather psychology, right? Marketing strategy, plus your your own wow factors, your own uniqueness, your own energy. Okay, so I see there are no more questions, and I see some of you are really excited for tomorrow. Okay, thank you so much. Namaste, everybody. Bye. Tomorrow at 11 a.m.